Outer Orange.
Привет, welcome back. OuterOrange here. Today we are back with some results. I did miss out on basically about 2 weeks of results. We got a lot to cover today, so let's go ahead and get through it. We got Mexico. Mexico had the tri format happen, and we had basically Gurgit, Jeweled, Night Rose in first. We had Gurgit, Prism, Hamiel in second, and we had third place Gurgit, Chernui, and Jewel Knights, and then we had Leopold, Luard, and Ghidorah in fourth place. All really interesting decks. I think the most unusual one is probably the Hamiel one, so let's go ahead and quickly take a look at it. Everything else is pretty standard. I would say decks that we've seen quite a lot of. The Leopold one's a little unusual, but it's kind of funny that there's actually 4 Excel decks, so it's also just really cool. If you guys don't know about the Hamiel deck, this is basically a Garter Struck deck. One of my friends used to play this deck a lot, but you want to go for the Hamiel Garter Struck. You want to use this to pump up the Hamiel. Basically just aggro your opponent. It also goes into Soul, which is a 3, which also procs the Feather Palace, and you usually don't really care for striding too much, but you can to get yourself some protect markers to stay protected, and usually you want to finish off on this stride. That's basically how the deck works. I'm not a Angel Feather main, but I do know that basically the win con is to set up with the crits, and your opponent can't sank it, but they also have to deal with another guy with a lot of crits and just a lot of crit pressure. Basically they'll usually die with a bunch of drive checks coming your way. That's basically how that deck works. Let's go to D. This is D. So we had very interesting, funnily enough, the team that got first place in tri format also got first place in D as well. And interestingly enough, the D player was actually playing a completely different deck. One of them was playing a different deck. But here we have first place with Jet, Mushiking, and Chernui. Second place, Prism, Leonorn, and Shidoji. Third place, we had Leonorn, Youthberg, and Drajeweld. And fourth place, we had Drajeweld, Youthberg, and Leonorn. All very good decks. I would say the Leonorn one is kind of showing a little bit more results than I expected to. I don't value the deck as much as other people do. I think it's strong. I just don't value it as much as everything else that's in the picture. I'm not sure if, I don't think the crest stuff is active yet for the be able to energy blast draw, and I think with energy blast in mind, okay, it does come back. But otherwise, you'll see a big Drajeweld kind of come back here. I think Drajeweld's insane. I think people are really sleeping on Drajeweld. I think it's been good this entire time. It is a triple drive deck, which means that Chernui gets to abuse it, but otherwise the deck on its own is just a really strong deck. So overall, really good stuff. We also have Legacy Cup, which I believe is no oversugar, and I think this is the one that Fuzzy actually helped stream, which he did a really good job on. But I didn't get a chance to see it because I had a lot going on when everything happened. But still, this is basically the results. We had 2 Nibatama, 1 Mega Colony, 1 Gear Chronicle, 1 Grand Blue, 1 Neo Nectar, 1 Royal Paladin, 1 Great Nature. All very good topping decks, even without the oversugar. You know, the decks that are strong still going to stay strong. Manila. Now, Manila had basically pretty normal results. I would say their premium results were a little bit more out there, but we have first place with Gurgit, Chernui, and Ghidorah. Still potent, still strong. And then second place we had Jewel Knights, Prism, and Steam Mazers. A little bit more unusual to see, as this deck did get restricted as well as so did this. Actually, this in V is weird. I didn't even realize this is V, but this is V, Jet, Chernui, Katrina, and then we had fourth place Anj, Prism, and Night Rose. This was so unusual because I don't think this deck's really that good. But hey, this might be an MFD package. Let's just check it out real quick. If it's an MFD package, I can understand it, because MFD package goes wild sometimes. It is indeed an MFD package. I don't know why Jet was on it, because it's definitely an MFD deck. But yeah, MFD can go kind of wild, so this makes sense to me. They're running the dog instead. I really like seeing MFD perform, because I actually think the deck's really annoying in V, especially if you don't know how to fight it. This deck went under high roll is like insane. I will say it only runs 8 grade 1, so you really have to find your stuff. But otherwise, the deck goes crazy. When it goes crazy, it goes wild. So really fun to see here. And let's go over to D. We had D over here with Luar, Chernui, and Prism in first. Again, just very strong team, can't go wrong. Second place was Prism, Chernui, and Carmount. And then third place we had Zorga, Chernui, and Java. A little bit more unusual on the Java side. And then fourth place we had the Leonorn, Drajeweld, and Chernui. All really good decks. I would say the Java might be a little bit more common, as it's not a very popular deck nowadays, but not the most popular pick of the choices we have here. But overall, everyone basically took what they thought was strong. The Zorga is interesting. I did look at this list a little bit earlier. It's pretty standard. They're not running anything too out there. It's just Zorga being Zorga. It's really nice to see Zorga still topping and having results, even though it's a set 1 deck. If you think about it, it is nice to see like a deck from so long ago still being able to perform. It's really nice to see. It's kind of like Bastion. Bastion is also performing for a while, but then you have like decks like Bruce that kind of, you know, fell off a little bit over time. Magnolia fell off and all that kind of fun stuff. I just think it's really cool. Next we have WJP. This is Deluxe Season 1 Indonesia. So we had 3 Chernui, 2 Razio, 1 Varga, 1 Orphist, and 1 Blagmir. So again, Chernui is still showing results even with Divine Z at 2 on the second Divine Z, because this is set 2 specifically, so they do have a little bit extra because we do have the Blagmir, and obviously that doesn't come out until the next set drops, so that is interesting to see. So this is basically results with Divine Z set 2 involved, and yeah, Chernui is still on the top. And then next we have the Singapore, also season 1, and they also have Sharnui with 3, but they also had 2 Ava, 1 Velstra, 1 Prism, and 1 Jewel. Ava, actually, I've been hearing a lot of good stuff saying the deck's definitely coming back. I read some of the cards, I was like, yeah, I can understand it. I can understand Ava coming back. Ava had it needed the tools to kind of keep in meta, and I think with the new tools that she's been getting, she's definitely coming back. And also, we still have a little Jewel. Let's go. Last but not least, we do have the prospects here. We also have the Vancouver results, probably the sweatiest results. Definitely a little bit, definitely more to the point. Definitely, they definitely went the we're gonna sweat. They definitely sweated. So first place we had Gurgit, second place, and then we had Sharnui and Sharnui for premium and D, and then second place we had on Sharnui Katrina. Third place we had Gurgit, Sharnui Reindeer, and then fourth place we had Thalbas, Sharnui, and Night Rose. Not very surprising, all very strong decks. Nothing here that's too unusual. All decks that have topped multiple times now at this point, especially to this part of the meta for all 3 formats. All very competing decks, so the very, very awesome stuff. And then over on the D side, this is even sweatier. Thought the first one was sweaty. This one's even sweatier. The first place we had the usual Prism, Luard, Sharnui, really good combination. Second place we had GREEDON, Prism, and Sharnui. Third place we had Prism, Luard, GREEDON, and then fourth place we had Prism, Sharnui, and Luard. You notice a lot of Prisms, a lot of Sharnuis, and then a lot of Luards, and a little bit of GREEDON. I think GREEDON's still really good. I think people really sleep on GREEDON. I think the deck's really insane. Of course, with Sharnui in mind, it's a little bit harder to play it, but it's the best of 3 basically. If you think about it, you have a 1/3 chance to fight it. If you don't see it, good. And you can also just play a regular game. You don't have to go to 6 damage. Just don't go to 6 damage, and the Sharnui's effect won't resolve. Right? Just play a normal game. Restand your Vanguard 3 times, go crazy. You know, all that kind of fun stuff. But overall, that's the results for that. Definitely, as you could tell, a lot of trying. This is definitely the no cope zone. We also had the Malaysia 2024 results come through. So we had 2 Velstra, 2 Varga, 1 Mygo, which is pretty unusual at this point. 1 Ava, 1 Prison, and 1 Luard. All pretty competitive decks. I would say Prison is a little bit more out there. Seeing Mygo still perform, those it is a good deck, but you know, with everything coming out, you would think you would be less of an option. But hey, it's still a cheap deck to have, and you know, if you just don't want to play Divine, you could just play Mygo instead. And then we also had the Taiwan Season 1 breakdown as well. We had 2 Roswell, 1 Luard, 1 Ava, 1 Blacknear, 1 Varga, 1 Zorga, 1 Trading Tools. Definitely way more out there in the spectrum, which is good to see. No Sharnui, and we do have the new Zorga in this version as well. So that's also really awesome to see. So overall, really good stuff. That's all the results. I kind of flew through it a little bit, but honestly, we saw a lot of what we've been seeing for a while now. So aside from the set 2 stuff, everything else has been pretty standard, but we don't have as many decks obviously for the set 2 stuff, so there isn't as much to talk about on that side. But overall, clearly, I do like where Divine Sea is going meta wise. It's getting more interesting, kind of more just a lot of decks just performing well, and that's all I have for y'all. I just kind of want to break down all the stuff that we've seen the last 2 weeks. Wanted to get that out there before I do anything else. So thank you guys for watching. Finicards.shop coverage if you need anything. Divine Z does drop this upcoming Friday. We are so soon to our destination of Divine Z. You guys can check that out. Code Orange, 50cards.shop for all your goodies. If you need anything or sleeves or anything else, stay tuned for any of that. But guys, peace out. Das Vidania. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye.